So our last few videos have been about the number of homes coming on the market, the inventory buildup that we are seeing here in San Diego, what that means for buyers and sellers. But there's also a few other pieces of the puzzle that we need to dive into and what that means if you are looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, or you're just keeping an eye on the market. So we're going to dive into it and tell you the stories behind these numbers so you get some good insight into what's happening right here in San Diego. As always, I'm Chris Erickson. We got a real estate crew right here in San Diego. So if you're thinking about making a move, whether you're buying, selling, investing, feel free to reach out. We want you guys to reach out. We're the guys who answers the calls, texts, and emails. And we got your back when making the move here in and around San Diego. But let's jump into what's happening right now. So the first piece of the puzzle, new listings. How many homes are actually coming on the market? We are in the county of San Diego, and this is a 4-week average. So it's taken the last 4 weeks of data, and right now we are 2.5% below where we were last year, just under 692 homes, new listings on the market. Now, when we show you the number of homes actually on the market, this is just new homes coming on. You're gonna see it's telling a little bit different story. So actually new listings are down a little bit compared to last year, not as many sellers as we had seen during this time frame last year. Now, for the beginning of the year, we were tracking above where we were in 2024. You see this bottom line here is 2024, top line is 2025, and then it just dipped under just about a few weeks back. So new listings have slowed a little bit, and it's kind of typical when we do see going into, May's probably the one of the top, June or July, you'll see the peak. So we might see this start to go up a little bit in the next few weeks, but we'll keep a close eye on that. Next thing is pending sales. How many homes are actually going under contract? If this is dropping, we are seeing less homes go into escrow, meaning typically less buyers out there, a little bit less demand. So we're about down 12% compared to last year. We were tracking pretty even, and just since right around here in late April, and we've even noticed this in some of our own listings right around this time frame when all that did start taking effect. The buyer demand did slow down. We were starting getting a few less showings. We were getting less offers on the properties. So that trend has continued. The main story, like I said, being kind of the uncertainty out in the market. Off market in 2 weeks, how fast are things selling? Right now, 43.2% of homes are going off the market in 2 weeks. That's down about 6% from last year. But when we tell the story of homes are taking longer to sell, there's less demand out there. As you see right here, there is still demand. It's less than last year a little bit, but just over 43% of homes, so a little bit under half of the homes are still going pending and getting an offer within those first 2 weeks. Now, how many homes are selling? Right now, we're about 6% below where we were last year, 476 homes compared to right around here, about 505 from last year. So once again, this is kind of the demand side, how many homes are actually selling. You have new listings, then they go pending, and then they go sold. So as pendings drop, we'd expect this to kind of follow suit and go down over these next few months. Next up is the new listing median price. Homes that are coming on the market, what are they listing at? The last few weeks, we've been flat, 957, 500. We did peak up here a little bit, about 981 or so a few weeks back, and it's been dropping a little bit since then. Now, this is, a little choppy as we're going through the last few weeks. If we go to the 12 weeks, just including everything, you can see it's still on the upward trend. So that's what homes are hitting the market at, but what are they actually selling at? And right here, selling for about 2% less than they were last year at 914,000. Once again, if we do the 12-week, you're gonna see it's still trending up, but it's about to cross over where we were last week right here. So usually we will have a few more weeks of rising, but it has seen a significant drop off over these past few weeks of what the actual sale price of a home is. Now jumping into days to close, how long does it take from going under contract to selling? So not days on market, but it's taking like actually earning escrow time. So like when you're writing offers as a buyer, one of the things we're going over with you is how long is escrow period. A lot of times it comes down to what the sellers want and what you want, coming to the middle some way. And a lot of times we see this just in offers that we're writing anywhere between 21 to 30 days. And this is saying the same thing. We're sitting about 24 days on the market, a little bit above last year, but not too out of sorts. All right, now here's an important one that we have brought up in the past. This is active listings. This is including homes that are on the market plus those new listings that have come on, and we saw new listings are down, but actually active listings are up a little bit compared to the previous reading right here, 6233, 6249. So not a ton, but where we did see up here, it came down a little bit. Now we're back up. So we're kind of flattening out. Now, this is an indicator we're up about 27% from last year. So if you are a buyer out there, you're seeing these homes sit a little longer, adding to the inventory, adding to the active listing count, which is driving this number up a little bit. Median days on market, how long are homes taking? How long are they sitting on the market before they're selling? And it could be anywhere between selling that first weekend. I was just looking at the hot sheets this morning. Some were on for like 2 days, some were on for 71 days, some were on for 100 plus days. It's just really all over the board. As far as median days on market, just sitting shy of 22 days on market. Now, as a seller out there, when you're thinking about putting your home on the market, how long is it actually going to take to sell? Is it going to take that 2 days? Is it going to take 20 days? Is it going to take 40 days? It really depends on your specific situation and diving into the neighborhood that your home is in. Because as we mentioned in this channel, all neighborhoods are different. This is just giving you a ballpark of San Diego County as a whole, but it's super important to know what's going on in your neck of the woods if you are thinking about selling. So if you guys are thinking about making a move, like I said, all of our info is right below. You could feel free to start that conversation, but still about 7 days over last year, where last year we're sitting like 14-ish days on the market. Now we're sitting about 21. So as we mentioned, yeah, days on market are going up. They're not super high, but they have been on an upward trend compared to last year. You can see it's been a little bit flat for these past few months, a little bit of an uptick here, but compared to last year, we are definitely up. Now, as we look at age of inventory, we're looking at how long are homes, current homes, active homes on the market. This is the median, sitting about 38.8, about 7 days over from last year. So that is driving up. This is those active listings are sitting on the market a little longer, where last year it was about 31, 32 days. Now we're sitting about 39 days. Now looking at months supply of inventory, this is an indicator of, are we in a buyer's market? Are we in a seller's market? And kind of where does the demand and supply sit? And right now it's 13.2 weeks, up 3.4 weeks from last year. And typically when you're, the old school thinking is anything over 6 months is a buyer's market, anything below that is a seller's market. But I think that's changed, because we're even starting to see a little bit of a buyer's market right now, and we're only just over 3 months of inventory. So it's not crazy high. We're not to that 6-month mark, but we definitely have seen a bit more softness in the market compared to years past. And so for all those homes on the market with the current demand, the current number of sales we did have recently, it would take 13.2 weeks to sell all those homes that are currently on the market. That's what month supply of inventory is looking at right here. And then one other factor playing into supply, demand, where our price is at, where are they headed, is the average sale to list price ratio. Meaning if a home's listed at $1 million, is it selling at $1 million? Is it selling below? Is it selling above? We are, well, you can see it looks like a big gap, but compared to last year, it's really only down 0.01%. We're sitting about 99.3%. Now, we're not getting a ton of those multiple offer situations and causing that home price or the offer price to go above the list price. That's when you get above those 100%, when you do get some competition in there. And this is going from the original list price. So even if there is some price reductions or anything like that, it's taking that into account. We're still sitting at 99.3%. So we haven't seen a huge drop off on this, but compared to years past, it is definitely below. And so the picture for the San Diego real estate market is basically unchanged from these past few ones that we've made. Inventory is going up. The interesting thing that we have seen over these past few weeks is the number of new listings, which is down a little bit, which typically, like I said, you're going to peak in the next few weeks here. We'll still see a little bit of building before we see a drop off towards the end of the year, or typically. Now, every year can be different. This year can definitely be different. And so if you're a buyer out there, you can expect to have some more options. You can expect to have a little bit less competition. As a seller, you can expect a little bit longer market times, potentially. Like I said, every situation is different. Some are going to sell that first weekend. Some are going to take a bit longer. And then you're also likely going to have, you're not going to have like a flurry of showings. You're probably going to have a few showings here, a few showings there. Even the past, the few open houses we've been having recently, there has been pretty slow. So once again, it's really dependent on area, on neighborhood, on price point, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys want to start that conversation, all of our contact info is right below. Feel free to reach out because we got your back when making the move here in San Diego.